having any anxiety on his part. How much money this Tamarchides made, you can't as yet know for a certainty. But in what a variety of manners, and how shamefully, he plundered people, you heard at the former pleading, by the evidence of many witnesses. 54-134 But that you may not wonder how that freedman obtained so much influence with him, I will tell you briefly what the man is. So that you may both see the worthlessness of the man who kept such a fellow about him, especially in that employment and position, and that you may also see the misery of the province. In the seduction of women, and in all licentiousness and wickedness of that character, I found this Tamarchides wonderfully fated by nature to be subservient to his infamous lusts, and unexampled profligacy. In finding out who people were, in calling on them, in addressing them, in bribing them, in doing anything in matters of that sort, however cunningly, however audaciously, however shamelessly it might be necessary to go to work, I heard that this man could contrive admirable schemes for ensuring success. For, as for Verres himself, he was only a man of a covetousness ever open-mouthed, and ever threatening, but he had no ingenuity, no resources. So that, in whatever he did of his own accord, just as you know was the case with him at Rome, he seemed to rob openly rather than to cheat. 135 But the other fellow's skill and artifice were marvelous, so that he could hunt out and scent out with the greatest acuteness, all over the province, whatever had happened to anyone, whatever anyone stood in need of. He was able to find out, to converse with, to tamper with everyone's foes, and everyone's enemies. To know the circumstances of every trial on both sides. To ascertain men's inclinations, and power, and resources. Where it was necessary to strike terror. Where it was desirable to hold out hope. Every accuser, every informer, he had in his power. If he wished to cause trouble to anyone, he did it without any difficulty. All Verres' decrees, and commands, and letters, he sold in the most skillful and cunning manner. 137 And he was not only the minister of Verres' pleasures, he also took equally good care of himself. He not only picked up whatever money had slipped through his principal's fingers, by which he amassed great riches, but he also picked up the relics of his pleasures and of his profligacy. Therefore do not fancy that Athenio 19 reigned in Sicily, for he took no city. But know ye that the runaway slave Tamarchides reigned in every city of Sicily for 3 years. That the children, the matrons, the property, and all the fortunes of the most ancient and most devoted allies of the Roman people were all that time in the power of Tamarchides. He therefore, as I say, he, Tamarchides, sent censors into every city, having taken bribes for their appointment. Comitia for the election of censors, while Verres was praetor, were never held not even for the purpose of making a presence of legality. 55-137 This was the most shameless business of all. 300 denarii were openly exacted for this, forsooth, was permitted by the laws from each censor, to be paid down for the praetor's statue. There were appointed 130 censors. They gave one sum of money for the censorship contrary to the law. These 39,000 denarii they openly paid down for the statue, in compliance with the laws. First of all, what was all that money for? Secondly, why did the censors pay it to you for your statue? I suppose there's a regular order of censors, a